Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to Fandom Vintage. My name is Lily, and as a 90s kid, I got my very first anime experience through the Sailor Moon series before I even knew what anime was. And of course, my absolute favorite Sailor Scout of all time is Sailor Jupiter. I mean, she cooks, she's a badass, and green and pink are two of my favorite colors. Very important factor when you're a 7-year-old. Needless to say, I have been a Sailor Moon fan ever since. So I wanted to whip up a 1950s inspired Sailor Jupiter swing dress, complete with a sailor collar, maybe a little bit of detailing, and I wanted to see if I could do it in a couple days. Let's get to it. Welcome to day one of my Sailor Jupiter dress make. Yes, I am on the floor because I actually currently do all of my crafting and work sitting on the floor. So this is the fabric that I have for the dress. It was actually originally for a Sailor Jupiter cosplay that I was supposed to do years ago with my cosplay group of friendos, but we never actually did the full group. And somehow I ended up making a Sailor Moon cosplay instead to go along with my friends. So I have a Sailor Moon cosplay and no Sailor Jupiter cosplay, but I have this nice perfectly green fabric that was supposed to be for her skirt. So I will be turning this into a dress. Looking at this, it's about 2.5 yards of fabric, maybe 3. So it's a little too small of a cut to make into a full circle skirt kind of a dress. So it's still going to be A-line. I was thinking of maybe pleating the skirt around and just attaching that to the bodice. I originally wanted to make something with sleeves just because I hate my arms, and so I'm really conscious about actually showing my arms, but I don't think I'll have enough fabric to actually make sleeves, so this might have to be a sleeveless dress. And this is made out of, feels polyester-y. I'm gonna say it's some sort of a poplin. I don't exactly remember. This was bought probably at least 5 years ago, maybe even longer, 6-7 years ago. So I have this green fabric, and that will be the base of the dress. I also have a pink fabric that was meant to be the bow, so I'll be using that probably for a bow accent piece as well, and maybe a little bit more for kind of sprucing up the dress and giving it a little bit of a contrast color. So we have this baby pink color to go with that green, and then just some, it's like a medium weight cotton, white cotton. I always randomly have cotton on hand, so this is probably going to be used to make the collar piece of the dress. So next thing I have to do is actually draft up a pattern. I am probably going to only draft up the bodice to make sure it's well fitted, and then kind of wing the skirt to make it fit and see what works. So we'll see. So I've drafted out my pattern here. As you can see, I have had to readjust the arm size several times, but I have finally gotten the measurements kind of to how I like it when put up against my dress form. So I'm just cutting them out now. Alrighty, so here we have a very preliminary bodice piece. That's probably going to have a lot more adjustments. I think I'm going to end up having darts here. So we will go ahead and see how it looks on the dress form and decide. Right, so I went and folded in kind of a dart here underneath the arm side. Obviously with patterning paper, you can't really get anything too precise, but kind of going off the cuff with this one. Right now, honestly, it just looks like I'm wrapping a piece of tissue around my dress form. Essentially, that's what I'm doing, but I think the shape is kind of what I want it to be. So time to cut this out in the fabric and see how it looks. Wish me luck. So usually people do this entire process with muslin first, just to make sure everything is cut out perfectly and everything is shaped perfectly before you cut out your nice fabric. Because I'm on a budget, we're just going to work straight with the fabric and pray it works. So I have the collar piece I drafted out here, and that was based on the neckline that I had drafted for the bodice. This is half of it. It's going to be cut on the fold, and I'm cutting two so that we can sandwich them together. Alrighty, so just to see what the collar would look like. And this was already cut with the seam allowance in mind, but that is kind of the shape we are gonna get. Not too shabby. So hello again from my floor. I am currently working on this pink trim that I am going to be putting onto the collar. So it has this nice little line of pink going around it just to complement the bow that I'm planning to put in the middle. So I just wanted to show this pretty cool gadget that I have. It's a bias tape maker that I bought a couple years ago. I haven't had a chance to use it quite that often. So it has this little slot that you put the fabric into, and then it will come out the other side folded like a double fold bias tape, and you just kind of pull it along on one side and iron it as it's being pulled out so that it gets nice and pressed. And hopefully turn this into some bias tape. Whew, it took forever, but I finally pinned down all of the pink trim onto the collar. For some reason, it was giving me a lot more trouble than I was expecting, but it is on, and so I just gotta top stitch this now. Alright, so I am calling it a night. As of right now, what I have done today after drafting the pattern was cutting out the bodice pieces and fitting them, and then doing the collar pieces and the pink trim to go on the collar, and then I cut out the pieces for the skirt. So tomorrow will be all assembly. Hopefully it goes smoothly, and yep, I guess I'll see you in the morning. All right, ladies and gentle germs, we are on day 2 of my Sailor Jupiter dress make. Hopefully I can finish it today. I know it might be just my cosplay brain going, yeah, we can do it in one day, but I think I have everything lined up to be finished. I have all the pieces cut out, so today is just sewing all of it together and sewing, detailing like the trim on the edges, and I totally forgot the most important thing, pockets. I completely forgot to cut out pockets. Can't forget pockets. Women's clothes never have enough pockets. All of my dresses, if I can help it, will have pockets. So pockets it is, and assembling everything. Let's get to it. Okay, so I got the top stitching done on the collar. So you can see here it is stitched down on either side of the bias tape, and this is just one side of the collar, so I'm going to have to attach it to the other piece of the collar as well. Alright, so a little update on how this is looking so far. So, oh, excuse me. There we go. So this is what the dress looks like. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was debating on what to do with the skirt since I didn't have enough to make a full circle skirt. So I played around with the fabric a little bit and decided to end up going with these kind of box pleats. I think it gives the skirt a good bit of volume, and it's pretty cute, and it does emulate the Sailor Scout skirt. It does kind of give it that same look and the same kind of waviness at the bottom, which I liked. I just have the front of the skirt on right now. She's a bit bare back here, but I will be doing the back of the skirt the same way as the front. Y'all, I have to share with you this kind of insignificant piece of information, but it made me really, really happy. I was cutting out the fabric pieces for the pockets. Since I didn't account for it initially when I was cutting out my fabric, I really thought I wasn't gonna have enough, and I was kind of bummed that my dress might not have pockets. But lo and behold, the fabric gods have been kind to me today, and I have exactly this much fabric left over, and it is just the right amount to cut out the pocket pieces. I'm so excited I can't even talk right. I'm so excited I can't even talk properly. What is grammar? I got super lucky. I am stupidly happy about this. So yeah, I just wanted to also include that little tidbit of information that I actually have enough fabric here, and we will have pockets, y'all. Is someone going to come sit in my lap? Nope, just gonna sit your butthole on the fabric instead? That was the goal all along, wasn't it? Alright, so little update. I am almost done. It is to the late hours of the night and I'm still working. I have, as you can see, changed into my robe, which I just realized is also Sailor Jupiter colored, so also on theme. I am nearly done. I decided kind of last minute to add a white trim at the bottom. I'm not sure if I have enough bias tape to do it, so I'm kind of playing trim chicken here. Hopefully I have enough. Well, I am pinning it on right now, and hopefully it is enough to go around the bottom hem of the skirt. If it is, we are in business. So guys, I am finally done. Here she is in all her glory. I just attached the bow. That was the finishing touch, little cherry on top. We have pockets! Yes! I am very happy with this. I feel so lucky today. I lucked out playing fabric chicken and also trim chicken. I actually ended up with only this much trim left over. Super lucked out. Yes, it looks great so far. All right, now without further ado, let's see how it looks. Hope y'all enjoyed watching me make this dress. This was a lot of fun to make and took actually a lot less time than I was anticipating. But be assured, this will definitely make its way into my spring and summer rotation of dresses for sure. Now, if you did enjoy watching this video, please feel free to subscribe for more vintage, geeky, crafty goodness. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I'll see you next time.